What is up, YouTube? We are back at it. I swear, bro, if any of you watching are a cop, I have a few friends that are police officers. If any of you guys are subscribed, better not say anything, because I don't think this is illegal, to be recording while driving, but we are here. Also, if you guys, I'm not sponsored by anything, but besides hard work, grit, and passion, but if you guys like caffeine, definitely recommend the Amino Energy. Grape flavor is bomb. Strawberry mango also hit pretty hard, but only 100 mgs of caffeine is much more doable than those 300 milligram cans, and so like that and a cup of coffee is literally all I need. So highly recommend, check those out. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is just going all in on your dreams, right? Like, so I've been posting, getting a little bit more traction on YouTube, and I noticed like I'm getting more followers now. Not to say this is an approach that will work long term, but I had a thought occur to me, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Like, okay, I have 180 some odd of you followers, which support, like all you guys supporting means the world to me, because I just want to be able to help the most amount of people with fitness and business, and if you guys want to follow along on the journey, by all means, right? That being said, like, I noticed that I had 180 some odd followers and about almost 350-ish, videos. So I'm like, okay, well, given that ratio, if I have just, 2 videos for every follower, or I should say, if I have, 2 videos per follower, then it's just a matter of like how many videos can I put out, those followers will come to me, right? And so I started to think this through. Like, if I had legitimately like 3,000 videos, I probably would have like, minimum 1,500 followers. Plus, these metrics improve, you get better with content. That's just a thought. But anyways, I woke up this morning to a comment on one of my YouTube subscribers on one of my videos that I just posted, and it was just like super cool to see. He was like, "This should be going viral," and like. That was just super dope hearing that. I'm like, bro, that is super nice to say. And for those of you guys watching out there, if you're working on developing a personal brand, if you're working on starting a business, whether you want to get into the coaching space or you want, to just learn these things, it's good to know that you don't need a huge audience and a huge following to make a big impact on the world. Like, you can literally help 10, 15, 20 people and make it a career for yourself. And a lot of people, I think, don't get that, but it's cool because I see comments like that, and like it's pretty dope, Because one, it pushes me to keep going, but not even from a perspective of, oh, that makes me feel good inside. Like, yeah, it made me feel cool for a second, but it felt cool because like the good feeling was like, oh, like he actually finds value in this content. Like, that means I'm helping him in some sense, or maybe it's a her. I believe it's a him, and I don't want to assume. We're in a world, bro, where you have to have those slash marks. So I'm just gonna plead the fifth. But yeah, bro, like all you need is one person to believe in you, and maybe that sets the tone for the rest of the week. Like, not to say this is the case because I've been in a good spot, but sometimes I get into a rough spot. Maybe with content or creating videos, whatever, and I have a comment like this, like one of these people, and it just like is so dope because like like it makes me feel like, yo, what I'm doing is actually working, and not just is it working, but more importantly, like it's helping other people either look at or perceive things differently. And so I'm a big advocate of that. Like, when I see valuable content, I comment on the YouTube post. I used to not do that, especially with big followers, because I'm like, hey, they're never gonna see it, but you don't know. They might not respond to you if they have 300 million or 3 million followers, right? But like, tell the person like how you feel, right? Like, one of the life experiences I had when I worked at a job in the past was I made a really good connection with one of the people I worked with, and he was a bit older than me, and I really just straight up was just like, hey man, like I was leaving, or he was leaving. I left shortly after, but he was leaving, and I straight up was just like, hey man, like I just want to say, like, I really appreciate you helping me with X, Y, and Z, and like, like I know we're just employees, but like you actually helped me a lot in like my development and in my career, and so like I thank you for that. And most people, I mean, I'm not most people, so I don't know, but I think a lot of people would, just not say anything. And at least that's the sense I've gotten, because like when I help people, oftentimes like they don't go out of their way to say, you know, like X, Y, and Z. And so it's nice to be able to have those sorts of things. But I remember saying that, and what he told me, his response was like, hey, if there's ever something that you feel should be said, just say it. There's no point of keeping it unsaid, right? Like, what's the worst case scenario that happens? Like, that person thinks you're weird for like saying what's on your chest. Like, literally, that's the worst case scenario, bro. And like, if you're being genuine and like they think that's weird, that's just on them. Or like, if you're actually being sincere and authentic. So that was perspective. But back to the comment, it's like, you know, like all you literally need, bro, is just a couple things to go right for you to start trending in an upward direction. Now, you could start posting consistently on YouTube. You know, you're posting about consistent topics, you're giving value to your following, you're helping people, and you're also talking about like what you do for a living and, you know, how you work your processes and whatever you do. And after some time, people start to know, like, and trust you, and they start to find value on their page, and they're like, okay, you know, I like this guy, like, I want to shoot him with a follow. And the more you do that, you know, just next thing you know, like, you're getting better content out there because you're getting more feedback from all these people. So now you know, like, I'm genuinely posting content that's helpful, like, right? I'm not just posting content just to get followers, because, like, that's cool and all, but, like, I don't want to just chase followers. I want to be able to help people. Now, if I can chase followers, if I can get followers by chasing helping people, that's ideal, right? But so many people, they just get caught up, I think, in, you know, chasing followers, and that's not where I'm at. It's like, yo, I legitimately am creating a community to help people with their fitness, their mindset, their nutrition, their training, things that I struggled with when I was younger. And accountability, mentoring, like all these things are things that bring me interest. And so those are the things I try to speak on my page for you guys. And so if you're watching out there and you're struggling with something, or you're working on developing a personal brand, or you're working on developing, you know, a business, or even if you're not, if you're still just working like a regular job, maybe you have side hustles, maybe you don't, but whatever it is you're doing, just know that like your perspective really shifts when you start to look at life in a lens that allows you to see things at their true actual, I don't know what the word is, bro. I'm running out of words. Like, but when you actually use a perspective of like, wow, this is what I could be looking at instead of this, right? Like a clearer lens, you could say. When you actually start to do these sorts of things, you notice how much is available to you in life and how much fulfillment you can find in your purpose from helping others. And so like, it's a simple comment like that propels me, for example, to, you know, I'm in a good headspace. I'm already putting out valuable content that I know is valuable because I'm confident and I feel good about it. And it's like, this is facts. Upload. Write up a quick caption. But really, like, now I'm having people comment and saying like, this is valuable content. I appreciate this. And that makes me think like, okay, what I'm doing is working, so like let me continue with this for two reasons. One, it's going to help me in the long term, and it's going to help me get better with what I want to do. But two, it's going to help me help more people, right? And so like, if I have people commenting on my page saying these are things that I'm struggling with, and I can make a video about it and explain like, hey, I was there myself in the past and I struggled with X, Y, and Z. Here's the formula, like here's what I would do in this situation. And all the other random things that come up, like every person, they're gonna have a different perspective on life, right? Like everybody has different experiences, so nobody's gonna have the answer. The answer is not out there for every unique, particular individual situation. Like sometimes you just have to like figure out what works and like try things, right? And so if I can help you guys, provided you methods or you know, ways of doing this successfully, then that's really what I want to do. Again, I've talked about, there goes the camera again. I've talked about this a couple of times, I think as of recent, but my first ever YouTube video, I think I captioned it something along the lines of, if I can genuinely help one person with, like, I think I just left it as that. If I can just genuinely help one person, like that would be like the most important thing to me. Like, regardless of if I have 5 followers or whatever, 1,000, if I can just help one, that's all I want. And so like now having that happen is dope, bro. Because it's like, yo, I didn't have these people growing up that were like telling me these things. And also, I think a lot of it is like proving to people that like, yo, you don't have to be coming from a circumstance that is easy to shape your life the way you want. A lot of the people I followed growing up, like these motivational speakers, like part of me like didn't believe it, because it's like, oh, like they were all so positive all the time. They don't talk about like the real stuff sometimes. And so like you need to know that it is possible, but like documenting the journey along your process is the whole purpose, bro. I think one time I heard something along the lines of document, don't create, and it just made me look at it a little bit different again with that clear lens in a sense, right? But literally, bro, when you just start documenting what you're already doing, you have content now that you can repurpose and repost and share with people and give them the layout, the steps. So like if you're doing something, it doesn't matter what the task is. If there's something that involves skills and it's of value and you think you're good at it, then you should practice that thing and document yourself getting better with that thing until you do something pretty good in that field. Like you achieve a pretty good result or something along those lines, or you help somebody else do something, right? And then once you get to that point, and now you've documented this whole thing, you can start to tell people like how you did it, because you don't want to tell somebody how to do something if you haven't yet done it, or if you are still in the process of doing it, right? Like for example, like there's a reason that I'm not saying like, oh, like this is how like you compete in a bodybuilding show, because like I've never competed in a bodybuilding show, but like I can teach my clients like this is how you get and stay lean, because I've done that for over like 10 years, bro. Right? Or I've been working, you should say, on the process for over 10 years. And along that journey, I ultimately got to the point I wanted, which is still light years ahead. Meaning that I'm always changing the long-term goals for myself. But ultimately, looking back, like, yeah, I've achieved a lot of the successes that I ultimately set out for, which I'm still less than 40% to my ultimate potential. Probably even less than that. But anyways, boys, I just want you to really pick up on the fact that, like, documentation is everything when it comes to personal branding. I'm sorry that I'm not making ideal eye contact with the camera. I have to have my eyes on the roads. My hands aren't even on there. Okay, now they're. If any of you guys are officers watching, bro, just please, just keep it low key. But anyways, in all seriousness, boys and ladies. Oh my gosh, bro, low battery mode. Okay, we're still recording. We're still there. So anyways, boys and ladies and gentlemen and everybody watching. If you want to create a personal brand, you need to just start documenting everything. Videos, like when you have thoughts, bro, a normal person just thinks things, right? Some people maybe take the next step and they write things down. But if you're trying to create a personal brand, just take out your phone and start recording. And one of two things is going to happen. Either one, you're going to post all that content and it's going to be great content, / it's going to be bad, but you're going to refine and get better. Or two, you're just not going to post it, but at least now you have practice with posting and you have less consciousness, whatever. You feel more confident about just recording, right? Even in public, wherever. So anyways, that's what I think would be helpful for you guys. But yeah, I'm really going to go with that, guys. I'm gonna change my YouTube from J Stroud Fit to J Tangent Fit. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, boys, it's literally a formula for success. You need to follow the steps, and like people aren't preaching this, right? Like people aren't telling you how to do these things. The real hard cold truth. Like everybody's saying, motivational Monday, like wake up and get after it. Like, bro, no shit, bro. But nobody's telling you like the ins and outs of like these are how you actually do the things. These are how you do the things when you feel like it's hard, like when you're in a rut or when you're in a mental spot and it's hard to get work done, or like you're not able to put out good content, or like you feel like you can't be creative, or you're not getting X, Y, or Z, or you're not working out. Like people don't tell you like what to do when it's stuck, like when it's tough mode. Like of course it's gonna be easy, bro, when it's all sunshine and rainbows, when there's a clear road. But when there's a storm and you're driving down a windy road with no street lights and you're trying to get out of the mud, bro, you're gonna have to follow some steps. So like having somebody there that can teach you these things is great, unless you want to go the route of spending years on doing on your own. That's personally what I did, and this is how I built up my personal brand. So if you've been cultivating this lifestyle or this sort of individual that you aspire to be, like if you have enough time, experience, knowledge, then start helping other people with that. And if the reverse is true, if there's something that you're struggling in, you should invest in helping, like working with somebody else and getting their help, whether that be a free mentor or a paid program or a one-on-one coaching program. I mean, I think either way, it's a win. And I think the reverse is true. Again, like I said, if there's something you're not good at, you can spend all that time learning and trying and getting frustrated, / taking a bunch of extra time that's not necessary, or you can just pay somebody, or again, if you don't want to go the paid route, then just overcrowd yourself with this information, do it faster, get more work done quicker. But like a lot of people see, they just aren't willing to do that. Like reading books, listening to audiobooks, videos, everything is great, but at some point in life, you need a sequenced order of step-by-step the process of how to do these things. And so, like, it takes, I don't even want to say humility. Like, I don't think you need to be this humble individual that is like, oh, I'm gonna XYZ and start acting this way and act like I'm lesser than because I need to invest in a program. Like, no, I think it's just literally you're being intelligent. Like, you're seeing that, like, okay, this person has amassed success in this endeavor of life. Like, I just want them to expedite the process for me. And that's what all of my clients come to me for is, hey, assist me with my nutrition and my training and instill these long-term habits in, so that even though they're not always saying that word for word, so that, you know, I can achieve this ideal physique that I want in desired outcome. And I'm like, okay, well, if we want to achieve this, then here's the formula, right? And that formula is really comprised of all of that 10, 12 years plus of knowledge and learning and failing and finding what works and what doesn't. But now I have that step-by-step blueprint. I have that formula. I know what works. I know what doesn't. And I know how to test things out. So like if something isn't working, I know the backup situation. Like there's a process for it, right? And so it's cool when you're able to help other people by doing something that you're already passionate about. And I think that if you want to pick up steam on social media, like get more traction, bro, it's just a matter of doing more of what's working. My goodness gracious, bro. We're back out here. I'm gonna wrap the video up in about 2.5 minutes. It's gonna be under 20 minutes, I guarantee it. But I just want to wrap this video up by saying that, like, if something's working, bro, nail down the hammer and just continue going. Because if it's working and other people are, you know, enjoying your content, then it means, like, okay, you're providing value of some sense. Dive into what that is and keep putting out more of it. And it makes you realize that, like, okay, like, you're getting better at your craft. So yeah, this is really what I want to talk about today is just, you know, going in on your dreams. Like I posted a video yesterday talking about how you want to go all into your dreams and how no people aren't always going to be there for you. It's going to be a lonely path. But today, I really wanted to shift things a bit and talk about more of the actual strategy that is working for me and that has worked for me, right? And again, 190 whatever subs. Not to say that's the largest number in the world, but that's really not my intention. My intention is to be able to help the most amount of people. So if I can have all 190 of those, or even 100 of those people that are like, yo, I'm really getting good value from this, then I would rather have that than have, you know, 150,000 followers and these people don't watch my content, if that makes sense. So like putting out daily content, posting multiple times a day, and just posting stuff that you genuinely want to talk about and care about is most important. I don't think you should ever create a script for a YouTube video. That's just my personal opinion. Maybe if you're trying to get a message across, for example, if I'm trying to talk about a training method or, you know, nutrition, then yes. But if I'm trying to talk about like just something on my mind, I just go off the top, right? And I think it's important to go off the top because that's when your creative juices flow. When you restrict yourself to the confinement of having this box that you have to think inside of, it makes it very, very difficult to be creative. But when you just start filming and you just post content and you say, I'm going to figure it out when I'm on the call. In worst case scenario, you mess up, you can delete it and record a new one, or you can cut it out. But what I like to do is I just record the whole thing unscripted because I'm a human. I'm not a robot. I'm going to make mistakes at times. And funny enough, I watch it back and I'm like, wow, I didn't really make too many errors there. But what I would say is just take your camera out and start recording and talking about things that are you've currently struggled or you're currently struggling with, and maybe things you've struggled with that you have now overcome, in lessons you've learned and ways of helping other people. And if you have specific skills, then apply those into your videos. I said I'll be under 20 minutes. Stay tuned, boys.